The moon hung low in the sky, a luminous orb casting a silvery glow over the ancient woods. The ceremony was set in a clearing, ringed by towering pines whose branches whispered secrets to the night. A circle of torches flickered in the gentle breeze, their flames dancing shadows across the faces of the gathered crowd. Leah stood at the center, her heart pounding like a drum. Leah felt like a sacrificial lamb. Her parents stood at the edge of the circle, their faces stern and expectant. This was the night she would be initiated, made ready to marry Liam. Leah's stomach churned with dread. She loved Dave, with his easy smile and kind eyes, but her family's decision had been absolute. Tradition demanded she marry Liam, and tradition in their village was a force as unyielding as the mountains. Liam stood across from her, tall and imposing. His dark hair framed a chiseled face, his eyes a piercing blue that seemed to see right through her. There was a raw, magnetic energy about him that made Leah uneasy. She had always sensed something wild in Liam, but tonight that feeling had intensified. The village elder, a stooped woman with a crown of feathers and beads, stepped forward. Her voice, gravelly with age, carried the weight of centuries-old rituals.
Leah, daughter of the moon, you stand here to be bound to Liam, son of the wolf. Tonight, you will learn the truth of your future.
The elder said as she raised her arms, and the crowd began to chant. The air grew thick with anticipation. Leah's breath quickened, and she felt a prickling at the back of her neck, as if unseen eyes were watching her. Suddenly, the chanting stopped. Silence fell like a shroud over the clearing. Leah's pulse raced as the elder approached her, holding a bowl of shimmering liquid. She dipped her fingers in the bowl and traced a symbol on Leah's forehead, the touch icy against her skin. By the light of the moon and the call of the wild, reveal the truth, the elder intoned. Leah felt a surge of energy pulse through her. Her vision blurred, then sharpened. She blinked, trying to clear her eyes, but the world had changed. The torches seemed brighter, the shadows deeper. And then she saw him. Liam stood before her, but his eyes were no longer blue. They glowed with an eerie, otherworldly light. His features twisted, contorting into something both human and animal. His teeth lengthened into fangs, his nails into claws. Fur sprouted along his arms, and his body grew, muscles rippling under his clothes. Leah's scream caught in her throat. She staggered back, eyes wide with terror. No, this can't be real, the elder's voice cut through her panic. Liam is of the wolf. You are to be his mate, Leah. This is the destiny written in the stars. Leah's mind reeled. All the whispered rumors, the strange disappearances, the howls in the night, it all made sense now. She was to marry a werewolf. Her parents had known, and they had forced her into this nightmare. No, Leah gasped, shaking her head. I can't do this. I love someone else. A murmur rippled through the crowd, and Leah's father stepped forward, his face a mask of stone. You will do as tradition demands, Leah. You will honor our family. The choice hung heavy in the air. Leah's heart ached for Dave, for the life she could have had. But she felt the weight of tradition, the expectations of her family, and the magnetic pull of Liam's presence. With trembling hands, Leah looked around the circle, at the faces of her family and neighbors. Could she defy them all? Could she run away with Dave and leave this nightmare behind? Tears filled her eyes as she turned back to Liam. I don't know what to do. Liam's gaze softened, his monstrous features easing slightly. Whatever you decide, Leah, know that I will respect your choice. But if you stay, you must embrace this life. You must accept me for what I am. The torches flickered, casting long shadows. Leah stood at the crossroads of destiny, her heart torn between love and duty, between fear and courage. The path ahead was shrouded in darkness, and only she could choose the way forward. Leah's tears sparkled in the moonlight as she made her choice. She knew the consequences of defying tradition and the wrath of the pack. More than that, she knew the village's dark secret. Those who opposed the werewolves faced dire consequences. Dave's life was at stake. Her heart ached at the thought of losing him, but her resolve hardened. She would stay, she would endure, and one day, she would change the rules from within. "I will stay," Leah whispered, her voice barely audible over the crackling of the torches. "I will be your mate, Liam." A collective sigh of relief rippled through the crowd. Leah's father nodded approvingly, and the elder smiled a knowing smile. Liam stepped forward, his monstrous features slowly receding until he was once again a man. He took Leah's hand, his grip gentle yet firm. "Thank you," Liam murmured, his voice filled with genuine gratitude. "I promise I will protect you." Leah forced a smile, her mind already racing with plans. She had a hidden motive now, to ascend the ranks of power within the pack and change the oppressive traditions that bound her and others like her. For now, though, she had to play her part. The initiation continued, the elder chanting ancient words as Leah and Liam were bound by ritual. When it was over, the crowd dispersed, leaving Leah alone with her thoughts. She had one more task tonight, a painful one that weighed on her heart. Under the cover of darkness, Leah slipped away from the village and made her way to the edge of the forest where Dave waited. He stood by the old oak tree, his familiar silhouette a beacon in the night. When he saw her, his face lit up, but the joy quickly faded when he noticed her expression. "Leah, what happened?" Dave asked, concern etched in his voice. He reached out to her, but she stepped back, tears welling in her eyes. "Dave, Leah's voice broke, and she took a deep breath, steeling herself for what she had to say. "I'm engaged to Liam." Dave's face fell, disbelief and hurt mingling in his eyes. "What? No, that can't be. You love me, Leah. We were going to run away together." "I know," Leah whispered, her voice trembling. "But I can't. If I don't marry Liam, they'll kill you, Dave. They know about us." Dave's jaw clenched, and he looked away, his hands curling into fists. "You're just giving up. Letting them dictate your life. It's not that simple," Leah said, tears streaming down her face. "You don't understand. There's so much you don't know. I can't explain everything, but I have to do this to keep you safe." Dave's shoulders slumped, and he turned back to her, his eyes filled with pain. "Leah, I don't care about the risks. I love you. We can find a way. Please, trust me. I need you to stay away for now. I need you to be safe." Dave nodded slowly, though the pain in his eyes remained. "I'll wait for you, Leah. No matter how long it takes, I'll wait." Leah couldn't hold back her sobs any longer. She leaned into Dave, and he wrapped his arms around her, holding her tightly as if he could protect her from the world. They stood there for what felt like an eternity, two souls clinging to each other, knowing that their paths were now irrevocably altered. When Leah finally pulled away, she took one last look at Dave, memorizing every detail of his face. "Goodbye, Dev, stay safe." With that, she turned and walked back into the forest, her heart breaking with every step. She had chosen her path, and now she had to walk it alone, carrying the weight of her sacrifice and the hope that one day, she could change fate.